Some things must be dropped out. A Chinese knows the basics. That's why they're inventors at the age of 6 or 7 or 10. Why are you insisting on a generation that is already expiring? And even still not putting effort from a child who's gone to kindergarten and then to the primary and say, this is what children must learn. It's a must. Okay? If you're talking about financial literacy and make it actually 70% or 60% of what a child must study in school. Another way, I'm an entrepreneur. Those are two things. You must learn entrepreneurship. You must learn on how to be an entrepreneur in your own profession. You must learn on how to be an entrepreneur in your medical field. You must learn on how to be an entrepreneur as a lawyer. You must learn entrepreneurship in any field, because at the end of the day, if you're a doctor, you're putting up a medical facility. You must learn on how to run a medical facility. You must even learn today that actually a medical facility must be not run by a doctor, must be run by a CEO who started the other side of marketing and everything. In these things, why don't you look at what we need? That's what you feel you have lacked at your young age, and then apply it to the young generation, so that we start saving, not the reoccurrence, the regeneration of challenges by tapping into these young children who are still innocent.
That's It's very, very, very important. For us to have a proper mindset that actually takes us up to the curve that we want in terms of financial well-being, there are quite a number of stakeholders involved. I have said, for example, we need to deal with the cultural challenges. There are some nice components we can take up, but there are also some limiting components we need to address culturally. Because like I said, our history is highly and largely subsistent. The other thing is, like I said, again, religion, we need to also begin to see what is being taught. Because you see, there are people who speak and people in their mind will not question them. For example, there are people who will say, in some of these entities, they will say, debt is a bad thing. Amabanja mabi. Tugobo muzimu gwa amabanja. But there is good debt and there is bad debt. And there are some things you can't afford, and unless you actually take up some extra. So without you knowing how to use a debt very well, it may be difficult for you to reach your highest potential financially. So stakeholders are many. Then the other thing is, of course, this is now when you talk of policy, it is largely beyond us as what we do. We have a pillar on what we do. One of our key pillars is policy advocacy. What we are trying to do is now we can put that under requests that should be considered. But government, there have been efforts also to bring it down to a level, including curriculum level. It still won't be sufficient, but at least it's a beginning point that they are trying to introduce financial literacy at school level. So they started with secondary, but I'm sure primary is also coming on board. But still, we need a radical approach towards this.
And serious decision making.
So even in the kind of content delivery, content we're bringing up and delivery, we should also we are trying to also explore how do we reach this information to a 5-year-old, to a 6-year-old, basic in the way they understand it. Are we going to do a bit of entertainment? Are we going to do games for them? There are people who already have games, and we need to bring all these innovations together so that all the groups are actually met at their level. So a 5-year-old has a way they are, being exposed to the right financial literacy. A 12-year-old, a 16, a 20, and all that. Even you don't say you expire. You're 47. 47, life has just begun. Life has just begun. In fact, at your age, actually, you have gotten the right experience behind. And now that especially you is in this